Hey everybody, Neil here from Post to Post. Thanks for joining me for this video. Recently I searched the channel because I noticed a lot of frequent or a lot of the same comments coming in. So I decided to search the channel in the comments in the last month, and I counted them up because I noticed I was getting a lot of the same comments. So 151 of the same comment. Neil, and basically this is what I said, Neil, can you please rank the new helmets with the ads? Rank the ads on the helmets. And at first I'm like, yeah, that might be kind of cool, but it's a ridiculous thing to do. Like ranking ads on helmets, it's a truly silly video. But I do like ranking things. So, and I noticed that the comments were coming in, and I'm like, okay, well, I got to do this now. Like, obviously, lots of people want to see it, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much for leaving those comments. I read all the comments, and I love hearing from you guys what you want to see, what you don't want to see, if you like something, if you don't like something. I really appreciate my community here. So thank you guys so much for contributing in the comments. I appreciate that. So I've done it. I have ranked the ads on the helmets in the NHL this year. It's a weird year. I'm okay with the ads on the helmets. They don't bother me that much. Any extra revenue the NHL can get, I'm all for that. So I've ranked them 1 to 31. We're gonna go through them in reverse order, 31 to 1. If you like hockey, if you like jerseys, if you like ranking things, logos, all that good stuff, would love it. If you could hit the subscribe button if you're new. Daily content on this channel. Daily content. Okay, let's get going. Number 31, I put the Pittsburgh Penguins. And unfortunately, if you're familiar with my videos, if we're talking logos and jerseys, maybe not jerseys, but logos and just kind of team things in general, Pittsburgh is usually quite low on my list. They're not one of my favorite teams for sure. But I don't think I'm wrong here in ranking Pittsburgh this low. This ad on the helmet is egregious compared to a lot of other teams' choices, as you'll see throughout this video. So I don't think I'm in the minority here ranking Pittsburgh this low. I think this is a safe ranking for me. So Pittsburgh, this ain't flying with me. And I said at the beginning I don't really care that much, and I don't. But if I have to be critical, and I have to be with these rankings, this stinks. This is huge. It's too big, and the colors don't match your colors at all. So I don't know if I necessarily blame Pittsburgh. It's probably more the PPG paints making the decision behind this. But still, yeah, it's too big, and that is what she said. Okay, that's what she said. Number 30, the St. Louis Blues. And I guess I have to say this as well. A couple of these teams have gone back and forth in the past couple of weeks with sponsors on their helmets. So if you see an ad on here that isn't exactly the same as what they've, if you're watching this a month from now and they've got a different ad on the helmet, these are subject to change. So as I'm filming this right now, or in the past week, these are the ads that have been used on the helmet. So Enterprise is the sponsor here with St. Louis, which I think the arena name is called Enterprise as well, maybe. But regardless, kind of the same thing as before. It's not as big as the PPG paints one, but it's green, and St. Louis does not use green, so it stands out. I understand the decision. That's their branding. It's green, but it stands out. So number 29, the LA Kings, kind of for the same reason. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but what else am I supposed to say? The colors don't match. There's a big yellow flower on there, and they wear a uniform which has no color. If we're talking, it's a grayscale, it's a monochrome uniform. There's no color. It stands out. It's not as bad as the other ones because I actually don't mind a bit of splash of color into their uniform, but yeah, it is a bit distracting. Number 28, for the same reason, it doesn't match their colors. The New Jersey Devils, they're using the Prudential logo in blue, and they don't use blue in their jerseys. So again, just doesn't match. 27, I put the Florida Panthers, and they're one of the teams that have kind of bounced back and forth, I think, between a couple of, at least two, different sponsors. The first one was Baptist Health or something, and it had green in it, and then they switched to Ford, which has blue. So there's a bit of color matching going on there because it kind of matches the helmet and the pants a little bit, but still it's a different shade of blue, so it's throwing me off, and it's also quite big on the helmet as well. So I don't hate it. Like, from this point on, I'm pretty much fine with the rest of these. Number 26, the Dallas Stars. So we get a bit of different color here with the blue and the AT&T, but the text is blacks, and that kind of matches their uniform. So there's just that little end piece of the logo that's a different color. And I do apologize that some of these aren't the best images. There aren't a lot of images coming out right now of these ads and stuff. So at the time I'm filming this, I'm just using the best images that I can get. Number 25, the Islanders. The colors is close. I don't think that the color of the UBS is orange. I think it's red, possibly. But it's a bit messy because it's got that logo in the front, and you don't really know what it is, and this one's just a little bit messy for me, but it's fine. Number 24, the San Jose Sharks. I like the name of this one, Zoom. Everyone knows who Zoom is now, but it's not the teal. It's the last image that I saw. Other than this one, it was very apparent that it was blue and not teal. So I understand that Zoom's colors are blue, but again, maybe a missed opportunity. Make that green. And Zoom, that's almost it's a play on words. You're skating fast around the arena and around the ice. You're zooming around. So I like this. I like this sponsorship with the Sharks. But yeah, I got to change that color. I got to match that color. 23, I put the Vancouver Canucks. So they're using Rogers, which is, these colors change depending on what uniform they're wearing, what color helmet. But on the white ones, it's red. There's no red in their uniform, other than the skate jersey, which is mostly black. So, but still, color thing going on here. But at least it's small and you can barely see it. So I like that. Number 22, the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Philadelphia Flyers. It's been a long day. The Flyers have no color here other than white in the helmet, which is fine. They use white, so I do like that. But the letters that they're using, or the logo, is pretty big. So they get minus points for the size, but they get plus points for no odd colors. Number 21, the Anaheim Ducks. This one is a very just like low-key. The font is small, the text is small, the logo itself on the left-hand side is small, so it almost blends in pretty good. So it's not a pretty logo, it's not pretty on the helmet, but you don't notice it. So that's a big plus, actually. Number 20, put the Carolina Hurricanes, kind of for the same reason. It just it sits on the helmet. I don't really notice it, so for it being invisible, it's middle ranking for me. Number 19, the Edmonton Oilers, where they use the Rogers logo, which is red, but they use orange, so it's kind of like the San Jose one, where you got blue and teal. This one's orange and red, so it's close, but still, maybe the Rogers should be orange, even though it's not their colors. Number 18, the Detroit Red Wings, kind of like the Flyers, just using 3 letters on there, but this is a little bit smaller than the Flyers, so I had to bump it up above them. 17, the Buffalo Sabres, key bank on top there. The red key that's on the bottom is so dark that it almost blends in with the blue, so while it's out of place, I almost don't notice it at the same time. I think if it was a really more saturated, brighter red, it would be way too distracting, so I'm kind of fine with this, even though they don't have red in their uniform. Number 16, the Minnesota Wild. It's so small on the helmet. It's almost smaller than the actual make of the helmet, Warrior, on the front. You see that? What the hell is that? Fluffy. Sticker on the front that says Warrior. On the side, it's like the same thing. It's almost smaller. So shout out to the Minnesota Wild for not putting a giant, massive logo on the top there. And XL Energy goes alongside with their arena name, so it makes sense. 15, the Nashville Predators. Although it is pretty big on the helmet, it almost looks like another team logo, like an affiliate team logo in the AHL or the ECHL or something. It looks like another sports team's logo on the helmet, so it kind of works in a way. We see this in the AHL and ECHL. Sometimes they put their NHL affiliates logo on their helmet or on the a shoulder patch or something. So I'm okay with this one. There's red in it. They don't use red. It's huge on the helmet. It shouldn't be, but this one works. I'm actually down with this one. Number 14, the New York Rangers. So yeah, there's a lot of colors going on here. Geez, there's purple, there's green, there's orange, there's yellow, there's blue, violet, light green. There's all kinds of stuff going on here for the Rangers, which is a bad thing, but it's so small. Those little notches are so small, it really kind of just blends in. So yeah. 13, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Depends on what uniform they wear. So I struggled with ranking these high or low because on the blue helmet, having that Scotia logo on there looks fine. But on the white helmet, having the red logo on there because Scotia's colors are red, and Toronto Maple Leafs don't use red in their uniform, looks out of place. So high and low here, and I kind of tried to put them in the middle because they came in the, you know what I mean. Number 12, the Columbus Blue Jackets, Nationwide Arena. Colors aren't exact, but they're similar. It's a brighter blue, but still, I think it works. Number 11, the Boston Bruins. Now this is probably going to throw a loop in a lot of my logic here. because you've got a pretty big logo on there that's green that doesn't match the rest of the uniform. No gold, no black, no white. It is just, like, other than the word bank, but the TD green, there's no matching going on. But I'm so used to watching Boston games, and I live in Atlantic Canada, so there are a lot of Boston games on TV. Plus, I'm a Montreal Canadiens fan, so I watch Boston a lot in general, or used to. Not so much this season, obviously. But I'm so used to seeing green with Boston because of the commercials, the ads on the boards. It's called the TD Arena or whatever, TD Bank Arena. It's almost part of their branding in a way, which is brilliant. From PD's perspective, they've got to be pretty happy. So I actually don't mind this on the helmet. It just works for me. I'm already used to seeing TD associated with Boston. So although this doesn't make sense based on earlier logic, emotionally it just kind of makes sense to me. I know that's weird. Number 10, the Vegas Golden Knights, Capital or Credit One Bank. You can barely see it on there. It matches the colors, the white and stuff. So at least on this uniform of this image I have, looks fine to me. Number 9, the Washington Capitals, Capital One Arena. Literally exact same colors that they use now. Their commercials are sponsored by Capital One, kind of like Boston. We're just used to that brand with Washington. So this is one of the better ones out there. I love that the colors match. Number 8, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Nothing special going on here. This is just text, but it's almost funky in a way because you've got two different sizes of text, and I kind of like that it's so big. Usually I didn't like it when it was big before. It's also what she said, but I like it really big right here. So for whatever reason, this one's working for me. Number 7, the Arizona Coyotes. And although this image is a poor image, it looks, and I think they use different sponsors based on what uniform they wear. There's a whole graph done up, and I should have mentioned that at the beginning, but there's a whole graph done up. But they're wearing this, and I'm just going to use this image. This sponsor with this uniform works, in my opinion, because although the color doesn't match, it's close, and it kind of looks like a mountain or some kind of like desert scene. It's a desert team, so to me, this one works pretty well. Number 6, the Colorado Avalanche. They've got that ball sponsor on there for that ball arena. Get it? It looks like a baseball logo, to be completely honest. It doesn't look like an ad. It just looks like this kind of like stylized logo on the helmet. So I honestly think it works. I actually kind of prefer the helmet with it than without it, which is weird. Number 5, the Chicago Blackhawks. Super simple. United Arena. I'm used to that brand with the Chicago Blackhawks. It almost should be on there, even if this season, if it doesn't go on past this season, I'd be fine with Chicago using United on their helmets. Number 4, the Calgary Flames. So much like Toronto, they use Scotia as their sponsor, but they actually have red in their uniforms. So I think it works regardless of uniform that they wear. It looks good on the helmet. Good job. And number 3 to 1 are basically all the same. All these teams use Bell. So the Ottawa Senators use Bell. It looks fine on their helmet. It matches with the white. The Montreal Canadiens I put second. They also use Bell. Bell's colors are blue, so it works perfectly with their uniform. And then number 1, I put the Winnipeg Jets. You could kind of consider the first 3, or the top 3, number 1 if you want, or number whatever. I think it just works. Bell is a huge sponsor of the NHL. They sponsor. There's Bell MTS Place in Winnipeg. There's the Bell Center in Montreal. They're just a huge sponsor. I'm just my brain is just automatically used to seeing Bell, at least here in Canada, maybe not in the United States, but here in Canada, I'm just used to it. So it's not distracting for me. It plays with no negative emotions in my head. It just works. I'm just used to it, honestly. So that's my ridiculous ranking. I'm sure that yours is completely different, as it should be. If anyone gets mad at this ranking, just go for a walk. Have a popsicle, drink a Yoo-hoo, whatever you're into that calms you down, you do that if this upsets you. But thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Hope you're having a really good day. I'm having a really good day, and I would have an even better day if you hit the subscribe button down below. If you're not subscribed, hit the like button. Share this video around because it's kind of ridiculous. It is kind of a ridiculous video. All right, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you later. Adios.